and will fight at any provocation. Lobsters make their homes in rocks and crevices of the ocean floor. They back their way in and guard the front door with their claws. To encourage the growth of artificial reefs, government officials deliberately sink concrete structures called reef balls. Lobsters are often the first tenants to move in. In places where populations are high, lobsters come to blows in battles over territory. This lobster lost his crusher claw, probably in a turf war with somebody bigger and badder. Somebody like this. This big blue fellow weighs almost 9 kilograms. Most of his weight is in his massive, powerful claws. Smaller rivals know not to mess with him. Lobsters learn to recognize each other by the smell of their urine, and will not fight one that has defeated it already. A lobster has 2 bladders, one on each side of its head. Big Blue squirts a plume of urine out through a nozzle right under its eyes, chasing smaller lobsters out of their hiding spots, just to remind them who's the boss around here. The smaller lobsters take flight. They back down in a hurry, using their tail muscle and tiny fins called swimmers on their underside to propel themselves backwards through the water. Having bullied the smaller lobster away, Big Blue settles into his home. To the winner go the spoils. But there's always another challenger. If the contenders are more evenly matched, having fought before, the fight takes on the ritualistic overtones of a martial arts match. This lobster isn't as large as Big Blue, but he's making a move on his territory. Lobsters size each other up, claw to claw, nose to nose, streaming urine into each other's faces. The chemicals in the urine trigger aggressive posturing. Big Blue stands on the tips of his legs, huge claws open, ready to inflict deadly damage. The smaller lobster knows he's outmatched and begins backing off. But Big Blue wants to leave him with a lasting impression. The upstart won't challenge the champion again. A lobster Big Blue's size has thousands of showdowns like this on his record. He could be more than 50 years old. Nobody is sure exactly how long a lobster can live, but some think their lifespan could exceed 100 years. They don't get feeble or slow as they get older, just bigger, stronger, and more fertile. Big Blue is just entering his prime, with decades and thousands more battles still ahead of him. The waters of the North Atlantic are changing. As the ocean warms, species are on the move, and traditional fisheries are under attack from toxic invaders. It's a world few people ever see, and fewer understand. Yet it's incredibly important, both for the complex relationships between species and for economic reasons. For creatures like the American lobster to have a bright future, we need to shine a light into the darkest depths of the wild, wild East. To keep this problem from becoming a disaster, fishery officials and park staff are catching every green crab they can, using jury-rigged lobster traps. There's no market for green crabs here, so these will be donated to a wildlife rehabilitation center as food for birds and raccoons. Officials keep close tabs on the crabs, measuring and tracking every specimen they catch.